All right, guys, welcome back to Clownfish TV. This is Kneon. I'm here with Geeky Sparkles.
Hello.
And we're going to talk about something that's not Sonic the Hedgehog for a change.
Yeah.
We're going to talk about anime. We're going to talk about one of our favorite anime of the last year or so, which is The Rising of the Shield Hero.
Yeah, it was good.
And this show has gotten a really bad rep.
Undeservedly bad.
Undeservedly, just like the Shield Hero himself.
Exactly.
This show has been accused of all kinds of awful things, and the media has tried to discourage you from watching it, but it won a couple of awards.
Well, you know, anymore when the media says don't watch something, I'm going to be like, where's my remote? You know?
Streisand effect in full force for The Rising of the Shield Hero. So it did win a couple of awards at Crunchyroll's Anime Award shindig, and that group of anime fans, that particular cabal, were sort of like, yes, this is a problematic anime, just don't support it. Including Anime News Network, which we'll talk about them too. They said don't support this anime, and guess what? It's getting 2 more seasons because it's so damn popular.
And it won awards. So.
Yeah, it won awards. So now it's the award-winning Rising of the Shield Hero. All right, so before we get into it, please subscribe for more pop culture news, views, and rants. We're almost 100,000 subs, guys. Thanks for the support. We're going to get there.
We are, but you're not allowed to talk about it.
You're not allowed to talk about it.
People get mad. You know what? Don't care. Continue.
Why are people so salty about it? Every channel asks for subs. I don't understand it.
Yeah, this is us caring.
I don't care. I don't care.
Good.
Anyway, so Demon Slayer took home the top prize at Crunchyroll's Anime Awards, but I was surprised. We had some people on Twitter ping us about this. Ping, is that a thing?
Oh, did they? I sent it to you. I didn't know people pinned it.
Yeah, they did.
Oh, I didn't see that.
You sent it to me, too.
I found this on my own because I wanted to see what happened.
But, yeah, Crunchyroll Anime Awards, Rising of the Shield Hero, Best Girl, Raphtalia.
Of course.
Raphtalia wins Best Girl, of course, and Raphtalia reminds me of Geeky.
Yeah. See, that's why it's Best Girl. No, that's arrogant. No, I don't mean it that way.
Best English VA Performance. Billy, as it Kometz, voices Naofumi in The Rising of the Shield Hero. So it got 2 awards. And this show wasn't supposed to get any awards. This show was supposed to be
It's problematic. You're supposed to not watch it.
It's problematic. Let's just talk about how problematic the Shield Hero is and how it's probably led to its popularity.
I think so.
Because we're seeing this more and more. When you tell people not to do something, not to watch something, not to support something, because it offends your sensibilities, usually they go support it, watch it.
Exactly.
Throw money at it. I know Shield Hero merchandise is like going through the roof right now.
Is it?
Yeah, supposedly it's pretty hard to get a hold of and very expensive when you do find it.
I know, we were really excited. We were at Sci-Fi Valley Con last year and we saw cosplayers and you chased them up the stairs.
I chased them into the bathroom.
Oh, no, not into the bathroom.
Not into the bathroom. They weren't running away from me because they were in the bathroom. But no, I actually did. I saw a Naofumi and Raphtalia. And this is when the show was pretty new, so I don't think a lot of people knew who they were yet. But I was like, I mean...
yelling, Naofumi! Naofumi!
I was such a dork. I was like this grown-ass man. Naofumi! Naofumi! Pay attention to me!
Where for art thou, Naofumi?
Notice me, senpai! And they ran into the bathroom. Well, actually, I did get a good picture of them. They were very, very good. And yeah, the show had just started, so I don't think a lot of people knew who they were yet.
No, it wasn't just started. It was out, but you know, a lot of people didn't watch it.
Wasn't that popular because all the anime sites are telling people not to watch it because of how problematic the show is. And the show, it's one of those things where it was a non-controversy. Like we started watching it. It's like, okay, let's see what the big deal is with this show because it doesn't look like, you know, I mean, it just looks like a run-of-the-mill fantasy show. It doesn't look like there's anything weird about it. It wasn't hentai, thank God. And so we watched it, and it was like, what's the big deal?
I feel like non-controversy. That you can sum up most of the media with non-controversy.
Yeah, so it turned out to really be a non-issue, but a lot of the anime news outlets really had a problem with this show because of the fake RAPE allegation. Can
oh
I
my God!
say
Yeah.
that?
That and the slavery thing.
The slavery
That was
thing.
the 2 things that really weren't portrayed in the way the media said they were.
No, they made a big deal out of something that wasn't a big deal. And honestly, there was riskier anime back in the 90s than Shield Hero. I found Shield Hero to be a very tame show.
Yeah, it was.
It was a very tame show.
It was a good show. It was a really good show. I really like it quite a bit.
And it's getting 2 more seasons, so...
It is. I'm very happy about that.
Suck a peach.
No idea. Pinky Boo says it all the time.
Our daughter says that. Suck a peach.
Suck a peach.
Suck a peach. So, Rising of the Shield Hero, we did pull this up in a live stream a couple of weeks ago. I'm going to bring it up again, because this just shows how much hate has been directed at this show. Anime News Network, the bastion of anime news, said that this is one of the worst anime ever. It's one of the worst.
The worst is not. It's really good, and so much so that people gave it, voted to give it awards.
Right. So this is it is a rallying point for the worst impulses of some of the worst people, and portrayed its premise as a glorification of misogyny and slavery.
Based on what? Why is it glorification of misogyny and slavery? Because if you watch the actual show, if you watch past the first 2 episodes, you'll find out that that is not the case.
Yeah, but it just offends people. It's
because they watched like 1 episode and then didn't wait to see what happened.
Oh my god, I love this. If I'm calling an anime the worst of the year, it's not sufficient that it merely be a bad show. It needs to be something actively, politically awful. It needs to be a rallying point for the worst impulses of some of the worst people.
Ironically, I find Anime News Network one of the worst websites of the year.
It is.
For similar reasons. So, you have that.
It is. Admittedly, these are factors that are often outside the control of the creators. There are countless examples of genuinely good and kind media being subsumed into a pile of internet swamp scum.
Oh my God.
The alt-right Yahtzees
so
got a hold of poor Raphtalia, and they put their slave crest on her.
Oh my God.
It was a Pepe slave crest.
That's a Pepe slave crest. I thought you were saying it was an OK symbol.
Oh yeah, it was the OK symbol. It was Pepe making the OK symbol. It's okay to be a furry.
Oh my God.
God, these people, they never watch. And some of the reviewers at Anime News Network, we know for a fact they had hentai sites that they were doing reviews on, and now they're offended by Shield Hero.
Right, exactly. But you know what gets me the most about all this, I found so amusing, was the point where she, she was started out as a slave, but was she treated as a slave after he got her? No. He did not treat her in such a way. But you know who did treat her in such a way? The people that were trying to take the slave branding off of her, that gagged her so she couldn't tell them what she wanted, and forced their will upon her. That's what that to me always has been the perfect analogy to the media.
Yeah.
They gag you, as a woman especially, they gag you, they can't let you speak, and then they're gonna force their views upon you in the name of helping you and freeing you, whether you want that freedom or not. Because of course you do. They can't understand why you wouldn't. And that whole sequence in the Shield Hero, that just all I kept thinking was it is the perfect comparison to how the sites like this behave.
Oh my God. Well, I didn't even get to this part. They actually take issue with the fact that because Crunchyroll helps produce the show, it twists the knife in. Crunchyroll, which is one of the premier anime streaming services in North America, just twists the knife in. This is the worst kind of nerd power fantasy to put on any pedestal besides the specific one I'm featuring here. What the hell?
Remember we talked about these authors trying to find a platform to push their personal agendas? I don't think you can, this person perfectly sums up that example.
We've got articles like this, or thought piece, I'm using air quotes, think pieces like this out on Medium. You ever just incel so hard you justify slavery?
I don't understand how they're justifying anybody liking the show justifies slavery.
Because she's got a crest, and
because she was a slave, and then he gets her out of there.
So the Phantom Menace, which the plot revolved around little boy slave, is that child slavery? Isn't that? We don't know what Watto was doing with Anakin.
Well, I don't know, but I think a lot of people, if they go look in their closets, they'll find they probably had relatives that had slaves.
Yes, there are a lot of white people complaining about slavery.
And here's the thing. Here's the thing that makes me mad is the fact that you can't compare that because it happened years ago. Exactly. It's like this. You cannot compare it because this is not. It's one. It's a fantasy world. It's not real. Two. They kind of make sure you understand that it's not cool. They're slaves, and he got her out, but it wasn't like it was glorified. Yeah. And it was like, hallelujah, there's slavery.
Well, the way they made it out to be, these media outlets, you'd think that, it was getting kinky. She was a slave, and, oh, look, she's an underage slave and he's going to do horrible things to her, and that's never the case.
But then I'm surprised they haven't argued that she has Stockholm Syndrome, and, you know...
Oh, I'm sure they have. I just haven't found it.
And to me, I thought they would get more upset about the rape accusations than they would this, but they doubled down the slavery thing.
Because they never watched the series, you know, to the end to see exactly what happens, where it turns out Mine is a liar, and she gets called whore and bitch for the rest of her life.
Yeah.
Because, oh, I'm sorry to spoil.
But here's the thing. I mean, and what is interesting is because of the lies told, he is ostracized and has to do everything and work like 10 times harder than everybody else and undo the other heroes helping. You know, there's a lot of things they did to help because they're the heroes and, you know, they're on the pedestal, and all they did was make it worse for the people. There's so many parallels to this I can connect to what we see every day in society. It's ridiculous. But we can't have that because that goes against their narrative.
Well, that's just it. I mean, they demonize the shield hero just because he's the shield hero, and it turns out that he has to save their asses at the end, even though they treat him like dirt the entire series. And we see this time and time again. But, you know, again, this is another example of, I think fans are taking back their fandoms now because all these media outlets are telling you not to watch this show, not to support this show, not to like the show. And then you realize that you look into it, and like the shield hero, you're like, whoa, this must be a really bad guy. And then you realize there's nothing wrong, really.
It's a good show. It's understandable why he's, you know, pissed off.
Right, and they gave it a chance, and now it's really popular. Now it's getting not one, but two more seasons, which Anime News Network had to announce because, you know, it's news, and sometimes they cover news.
Did they even say anything else? But we didn't like it.
No, it was very
notice how they kept all their personal hot takes out of that one.
Yeah.
Because at that point, people already liked it. And it was because of September of last year, and then they're like, "Oh, people love this," and then their attitude changes drastically.
Yeah, so I mean, again, this just is another example of these news outlets not really having their finger on the pulse of where fans actually are.
But beyond that, they're again putting themselves up that they're the moral authority to tell you what you should and shouldn't watch, what you should and shouldn't like. They're not only out of touch on the fandoms, it's not even, it goes beyond that. It's like they are trying to dictate what's acceptable, what's not by their sensibilities.
So, I mean, they probably don't want to make an enemy of Crunchyroll, considering that Crunchyroll has kind of a monopoly on anime streaming right now. But, you know,
I remember this.
Yeah, so I don't know. But very interesting to see that, you know, Shield Hero is getting some love now. Nobody's talking about it. And that's what they were saying on Twitter, was that Shield Hero won a couple of awards and all the media outlets are dead quiet. They're not even talking about it. So we're going to talk about it. That's why we're talking about it. And I think the anime is going to go on for a couple more seasons. I think it's going to continue to grow in popularity. Like I said, I know the merchandise is getting
It's really good. If you haven't seen it, you probably want to watch it. It's actually really good.
And they tried everything. Like, it's a subpar. It's a shitty anime. It's just a terrible show.
Don't watch it. We want it to tank. And then not only does it not tank, it does really well, and then it wins fan awards, too.
Yeah, and Raphtalia is best girl. So there we go. All right, we're going to wrap this one up.
Yep.
Please subscribe for more pop culture news, views, and rants, and we'll talk to you guys later.
Bye.
Hey guys, thanks for watching Clownfish TV. Please consider supporting the channel. Go to clownfishsupport.com. That's clownfishsupport.com. And if you want to join our community, go to clownfishtalk.com. That's clownfishtalk.com. Please subscribe, ring the bell for notifications. We will talk to you next time.